Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we will be discussing about Sightly, again in case of AEM, for all the templating part, for all the view part, if we talk about model view and controller. So Sightly sits at view part where all the presentation layer logic, all the presentation things we set in our Sightly part. So Sightly is also called HTL. So HTL stands for HTML template language. So earlier, before HTL, we used to use JSP to do all our request response. Then we all the style sheet, everything we were using JSP to implement our view part. But with the introduction of Sightly, all the request response log, then properties, component development, we use Sightly. So Sightly plays a very important role. And if we just compare Sightly with JSP, why Sightly was introduced. So again, if you see the syntax, again it is HTML. So for the developers who are familiar with HTML, they can easily learn Sightly. It's faster to development because of the simple code and syntax that is being followed for Sightly. Again, it's all HTML. Apart from this HTML, we have some specific keywords that are used for if statements, for loop statements. So if you want to implement any conditional based view, conditional based programming, we can use data slide test. So we have number of different keywords that are specific to Sightly that are being used to implement different logic. So again, make it dynamic. Just like in Angular, we have ng if, we have ng for, then we have all the different ways through which we can also call our backend code. So in this case also, if we want to include some file, if we want to call a particular class from a Sling model, all those things are possible. And apart from this, security wise, Sightly is better, as most of the security thing, cross site scripting, those are all taken care in Sightly. So if you talk about tags, so just like in HTML we have different tags, so HTL also, at runtime this HTL is converted into HTML. So we have different tags. We just discussed that if we want to have a comparison, if you want to test if some condition is true, then a particular message or particular module should work. So in that case, we have this data slide test. So all the tags, they use data slide, and after that, based upon the specific business purpose. So suppose we want to have a condition based logic that we want to implement, so we will use data slide test. So data slide test is used to compare values, and we just need to put in particular div, because again it is all HTML. So if we want to show or hide a particular div item, you can use this data slide test, and then again whatever resource name you want to compare, you can compare it, and if that condition is true, then that div will be visible, otherwise it will not be visible. Similarly, like there are a number of other tags also. So this, if I talk about data slide test, so it is just like if condition. Then we have data slide repeat. So data slide repeat, as the name suggests, it is similar to for loop, where we iterate, where we use this for loop syntax, and then we want to repeat some of the items based upon the condition. So we can do that. We have also data slide list also, which does the same function, allows you to iterate over a list. So if you have a list and if you want to iterate, so you can use this data slide repeat. Then we have a very important tag also, that is called data slice set. So if we want to set something, set some value, assign some value to a custom variable, so you can create that variable, and then you can assign that name to that variable. So data slice set means you can easily assign a variable using data slice set. Any, you can create any custom variable. Then we have data slice include. So you can see HTL is all comprised of tags, and these tags are more or less similar to all other programming languages. You can if you want to include a particular file within your current file, you can use this data slice include. So you can give the path of that file, and that file will be included, and you can use, then that file will be part of this particular existing file, and you can use all the features, all the modules that has been implemented in that particular file. Then there is very important uh, tag called data slice use. So normally whenever we are going to implement any AEM component, so again, a component consists of your view part, it consists of a controller part, it consists of a model part. So as you know, in AEM we have sling model. So whatever variable, you know that we define all those variables that are mapping to your dialog. So you have your CQ dialog. So based upon that, we create a sling model where we implement, or where we declare the variables plus properties. So in order to use that, because this is the latest way through which we can implement any component using sling model. So for that, once that class is implemented in your sling model, you can call that class using data slice use. So data slice use is basically used to call any of the classes that are there in sling model, and then you can just data slice use dot any of the variable, you can give a custom name, and using that variable, you can, what you can do, you can call all those properties, and then those the value of those properties will be displayed once you finish setting up your dialog box. So those dialog box variables values will be stored in sling model, and again, you can directly use everything that is there in terms of properties in your sling model in your HTL. So again, HTL has lot of benefits, because again, all the tags are very easy to use. It provides full-fledged functionality in which you can implement all those if statements, for loop statements, testing. You can call, you can include a file, you can include a resource, and the way it is being done, it's very simple, because for every implementation we have a tag. So we don't need to provide those custom logic in which we are putting if statement, then full-fledged programming. It's simple tag, and then within that tag you have that comparison. And more or less in every component, whenever we are going to implement a component, there will be HTL code, there will be a dialog box and CQ dialog, and within that dialog there will be few properties. Those property will be matched with the sling model, and again, if we want to access those properties, we have to use these the tag called data slice use. So you can also access JavaScript code also, and you can also access uh, Java, full-fledged Java class, and again, using that custom variable, you can access all the properties. So this was basically introduction on Sightly, how Sightly is implemented, what are the different tags, and at runtime, this HTL code, HTML template code is converted into full-fledged HTML. So rendering part is done on the server side. We'll be discussing on bundles also in the next video. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and thank you for watching this video.